Jarren Duran having an legit all-star season. Is he still like top 5 in WAR, that thing?
I'd have to check, but I think he's right up there.
Like at one point he was that guy, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's had a great year. He's had a great year, great all-star game. Wow.
Legit all-star season so far.
He's tied for 5th with Juan Soto.
Okay.
Juan Soto.
5th in WAR with Juan Soto.
Shohei Ohtani, Bobby Witt Jr., Gunnar Henderson, Aaron Judge. That's
a legit list.
Holy crap.
That's it ahead of him.
Those are the top 5 in WAR?
I read that. So Judge is 1. I read it backwards.
Yeah. Whatever. Holy crap. That's a list with some integrity. So he's had that kind of year, and now he goes to the All-Star game and wins the damn All-Star game MVP. And you know what my feeling is on this? And you know, normally, I give 2 craps. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch the thing. And nor will I ever again. I'm not watching the All-Star game. I don't care about the All-Star game. So it's not like in a vacuum that he won the All-Star game for the American League or won the MVP. It's just what it represents. Like, don't you sort of get the feeling this is just another little indication that the Red Sox are having a year? And it's a season worth getting behind if you're a Red Sox fan? Never mind the organization itself. Isn't it just another little marker that, hey, they're onto something, yeah?
No doubt about it. This guy came out of nowhere, really. I mean, 2 years ago, we didn't think he was a big league player. Frankly, he didn't look like a big league player. I was dead wrong about this guy. I think most people were dead wrong about this guy. Isn't that why you watch sports, Mike? Isn't this why you get into this? It's a great
give
story.
Give it a chance, you mean?
Yep, give it a chance. And listen, I didn't want to give Jarren Duran a chance. I apologize. I was wrong. But the Red Sox did. Now, did they do that because they believed in him, or did they do that because they weren't really interested in improving? That's a different conversation. But my God, has it worked out for them, and it is a great story. Last night's a great story.
There's a good Felger and Mass point. They backed into him. They didn't even believe in him. They didn't even want him.
You can wonder that, right? I mean, given that they weren't all that interested in signing Teoscar Hernandez when he wanted to come here, and given that they weren't, they didn't really do anything this offseason, and they haven't done anything in 5 years, Mike, and we question their interest, I think it's a fair question to ask.
This is another list with integrity, as was showing up here on the simulcast. Red Sox to win All-Star Game MVP. Here's the list. Carl Yastrzemski, 1970.
Hall of Fame.
Roger Clemens, 1986.
Should be in the
Pedro
Hall of Fame.
Martinez, 1999. J.D. Drew, 08. All right. Jarren Duran. Still, that's kind of a list with integrity.
Pretty good.
So that's just another little thing. Like, Red Sox fans, you're having a year. And it's like, maybe it's just one of those years where things happen and things snowball. And that's just that's my takeaway from last night. Is that it's just another sign you're having a year. Would you disagree or agree with that, McCarthy?
How could you disagree? Really, how could you? I mean, unless you want to try and find some numbers to make the argument against it, I don't want to hear your numbers arguing against why the Red Sox are going to regress at this point. Jarren Duran just won the All-Star Game MVP. I didn't think Jarren Duran would be anywhere near the All-Star Game, let alone playing in it, let alone having an impact and winning All-Star Game MVP. Jarren Duran, Mike, is the reason we didn't get the Nets last night. His 2-run homer was the difference. What a year he's had.
Okay, he's referring to the home run derby to end the game. You can't do inside jokes or go back to yesterday. Don't do that.
Okay, Mike wants the Nets out for the home run derby.
You have to explain the joke. You see, someone wasn't listening yesterday.
Right, exactly. But it's hilarious to the people who were listening yesterday.
I dispute hilarious, but either way, sometimes you just have a year. Sometimes you just have a day. Sometimes that's just the way it goes. It's called sports, you nerd. And that's who I'm speaking to. All the expected people and the fan graphs, projections, and all of that. Sometimes it's just your year. And is this a sign, another little sign, that it's just their year? That's my takeaway. You freaking nerd. And I'm not speaking to you two. Although I could.
You better not be.
Although I could be. I'm speaking to the Red Sox nerds. Tell me, do you have the expected numbers on Duran? What was he expected to be?
Yes, Jarren Duran, his projected numbers this year.
And who is it according to?
According to Fangraphs. These are the Zips total, and this is Milliken approved, just to make sure you know. These are real. Projected, 255 average, 11 home runs, 21 stolen bases, a 738 OPS. You want his actual numbers? Like the real world numbers?
So is that where he was supposed to be to this point or total?
Total season.
Okay.
That was his season. His actual numbers through 95 games, 284, 10 home runs, 22 stolen bases, and 820 OPS. Leads baseball in triples. Pretty damn good.
He leads baseball in triples?
Yep.
How many?
Oh, he
10.
has 10, 11,
Wow,
something like
that's
that.
a crap ton.
Oh, yeah.
And he leads the AL in doubles.
Okay, so let me ask you, nerd, does that mean he's going to have a bad second half because regression to the mean and all that? Or what? You want to ride it and see if he's better than you thought? And see if they're better than you thought and have some fun? Or what? Or it's the first thing. Regression to the mean, and it means he's going to have a bad second half, and water will seek its level, so, why bother?
That's the argument the nerds would make.
I mean, what are we doing?
The nerds would say the numbers are wrong, or the numbers are right, so this is wrong. Here's the difference between the nerd and the human. I can recognize when I'm wrong. I never saw this coming from Jarren Duran, Mike, ever. I apologize. I got it wrong. Most people got it wrong on this, but I don't think he's going to regress to the mean. But the nerd's going to look at this and say he's overperforming. He is going to be, by the end of the year, a 255 hitter with a 738 OPS. Sorry, wrong. I've watched him play. He's not going to be that. He's not going to be that.
Why do you think he's not going to be that?
Because he's proven to you that he's gotten better. This is what happens with young players sometimes, Mike. Young athletes get better at their job. Sometimes people in general get better at what they do. If you give them more opportunities, you learn how to fail. Baseball is a game, and all sports are played by human beings. You have to learn how to fail. I had a scout say this to me a long time ago about Travis Shaw, your guy, who was terrible in Double-A. He said, I like this guy. I talked to him today. I think he knows how to fail. Milwaukee Brewers got a guy who gave him a couple good years as a result of that. I didn't think Travis Shaw was a big league player. I didn't think Jarren Duran was a big league player, but he learned how to fail. He overcame. And the nerds and the numbers can't quantify that, because the numbers are going to say that Jarren Duran, it's still up there on Fangraphs. Jarren Duran's expected numbers this year, 255 average, 738 OPS. You watch him play every day, you say he's a better player than that. But the nerds just look at the numbers and they say, well, how could the numbers lie? Here's the thing, Mike. As a human being, I can say I'm wrong. I can apologize. The numbers never apologize. They never admit they're wrong.
Okay, so my first takeaway is it's just another indication that you're having a year. And it could be your year, and sometimes things just work out this way. And it's kind of fun, which I normally don't dabble in, but I'll let you do it. And it's just such a counter to the way baseball's managed nowadays and teams are built, and the way the clones that run the sport have conditioned their fans to think. It's like, it's okay. It's okay. Someone overperforms and you ride it and you go on a run. Like, let it happen. So, that's just, I think we're in the middle of that with the Red Sox, and last night was another indication. The other is, again, I want to scold Breslow and the Red Sox and all the nerds. Just because you trade away prospects doesn't mean you can't still have a good system, as evidenced by Dave Dombrowski, who, by the day, in his absence, gets better. Every day, it feels like you look up and he's crushed it. And I'm talking about him crushing it with the Red Sox, not with the first place Phillies, where he's got the Phillies as the best team in baseball. I'm talking about you. This is another Dombrowski guy.
No doubt.
So what do you got on that?
So you want a list of the guys that Dave Dombrowski left the Red Sox? Dave Dombrowski hates prospects, right? The entire core of this team, Dave Dombrowski prospects. Brian Bayo, international free agent, 2017. Cedon Rafaela, same thing, 2017. Drafted Tanner Houck in the first round in 2017. Cutter Crawford, 16th round in 2017. What a find. What a steal. Dave Dombrowski wins again. Tristan Casas, first rounder 2018. Jarren Duran, 7th round pick. 7th rounder out of college. Wasn't expected to be anything. He was undersized. He didn't really have his position. And, at that point, he was a second baseman. They didn't know where they were going to play him, but there was something there that Dombrowski liked. He liked the electricity. He liked, bat-to-ball skills, you name it. He took Jarren Duran in the 7th round in 2018. But I thought Dave Dombrowski hated the draft, hated prospects, hated the farm system. No, he just hated bad prospects. That was what Dave Dombrowski hated.
Well, it's not only them drafting. I don't give him credit for drafting the guy necessarily. Such a crapshoot in baseball. It's not like they're drafting a second or third round pick in the NFL where you can sort of really tell if you know what you're doing. But what stands out to me is that who he traded and who he kept. That's the game. Who do you trade? Who do you keep? It feels like all the guys he traded, as a single guy that he's traded, done anything.
Manuel Margot turned into a fine big leaguer. That's it. Traded him for Craig Kimbrell. He's an outfielder. He's nothing special.
I was going to say, Cubs? Where is he?
He's bounced around. He's been with the Rays. He's been with the Padres. He's kind of a journeyman.
Yeah.
And, Yoan Moncada has been fine in Chicago. Fine, but nothing special. Dave Dombrowski. You want the list, Mike?
Yes, I do.
Okay. For Chris Sale, Dave Dombrowski traded Yoan Moncada, Michael Kopech, and some guy named Basabe, who was a top 10 prospect in the system. You regret that? You regret the Chris Sale trade?
I don't even know who that last guy is.
Nope.
Isn't that a suit maker?
Right. Versace? What?
Oh, Versace. I'm sorry.
No, Basabe. Yep, Basabe.
Michael Kopech has a 5.05 ERA coming out of the White Sox bullpen this year. For the record, 41 games.
And you kept in that situation your two other top prospects, Rafael Devers and Andrew Benintendi.
Okay, so
traded the right guy, dealt the wrong one.
I mean,
or kept the you know what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely nailed it. Go.
Okay, Craig Kimbrell, Manuel Margot, Javi Guerra, Carlos Asaje, and Logan Allen.
I don't know any of those people.
Nope, that's it. Nate Eovaldi. He traded Jalen Beeks for Nate Eovaldi, straight up. What a steal. For World Series MVP, Steve Pearce.
Jalen Beeks.
Yes.
Career, you wrote this here, 4.89 ERAs with the Rockies now?
Yes, which is where pitchers go to die, Mike. Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
For World Series MVP, Steve Pearce, he traded an infielder by the name of Santiago Espinal, who has a career 679 OPS. And for 17-game winner Drew Pomeranz, he traded Anderson Espinoza, which everybody hated at the time.
He was the number 2 pitching prospect at the time?
In the system, he was a top 100 prospect in baseball. How could you possibly give up Anderson Espinoza for a run-of-the-mill guy in Drew Pomeranz who had team control at that point? Anderson Espinoza basically never pitched again. Good general managers don't hoard prospects, Mike. Good general managers also don't trade every single one of their prospects. Good general managers find the guys to keep and find the guys to trade. What will Craig Breslow do?
That to me is the lesson. It's one thing, and again, the list of guys that he's drafted, you just went over it. Drafted or international signing: Rafi Devers, Andrew Benintendi, Brian Bayo, Ceddanne Rafaela, Tanner Houck, Cutter Crawford, Tristan Cassis, Jarren Duran.
Right.
Like, tremendous work. But the more impressive thing is that he traded Moncada, he traded Kopech, and he kept these guys. He traded Margot, he traded Espinoza, and kept these guys. That's the game. So two things are those are my takeaways. One, sometimes you just have a year, and Craig Breslow doesn't believe in it, and the Red Sox don't believe in it. And two, you can still have a system and have a future and trade prospects. Like this either or, this zero-sum game of we don't want to trade future wins for present wins, like that asinine cockamamie that comes out of Breslow's yapper is just, it's flat wrong. It's a myth. But believe you me, Breslow believes in it, and the people that run baseball teams believe it.
If you like that clip, check out more videos from Felger and Maz here. For more Red Sox analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.